Thank you, sir.
We're in sport mode today, which means the tachometer on the display is a little bit larger, a little bit more pronounced, a little bit less of the Bluetooth information. Well, there's no Bluetooth on this one, but a little bit less of the urban information that you wouldn't necessarily need. And I have the full range of the horsepower and torque, which means I've got to be mindful of the fact that this front tire, well, it wants to go airborne. So I've lingered around the XDiavel experience today for quite some time, and I've listened to all the feedback and have been talking with everybody from all different walks of life, all different bike owners. They've, different levels of experience, and everybody seems to be really happy with this bike. They seem to really love it. There are some sport bikers that don't care for the forward mounted pegs on it. But the funny thing is that when you talk to them about the idea of cruising out to the best barbecue in the land, going 100 plus miles an hour, or 100 plus miles to find the best barbecue, they all look at me and say, oh wait, where's the best barbecue? And when I tell them it's about 100 miles away, they all of a sudden start liking this bike more. There are some cons. There are some things that I dislike about this bike, or that are weak points for this bike, and things to consider. One of which being its capacity for touring. Now, to be honest with you, a lot of this is unknown. There are some people that have taken this bike out for 500-mile days or 700-mile days, and they claim that they're fine. As far as the comfort goes, I'm inclined to believe them. Even on this base model with the less expensive seat, I still feel very comfortable. I've probably put down 100 plus miles today on this bike, and there's not one bit of soreness, of course. Let's take this turn a little bit there. I mean, I can't go too fast because I'm confined with the experience. I'm confined within this predefined experience. But I can't tell you from the turns that I have taken fast, and I promise I'll take some turns fast. We're headed to the ocean right now, so we've got some twisty Santa Cruz mountains to go through until we get to the Pacific Ocean, and then we're going to cruise along the Pacific Coastal Highway. But I do tell you, there will be some chances for me to really open up this bike and to feel the confidence that I get from the ergonomics of this bike. It is amazing. But yeah, the touring capacity of this bike is a little bit limited. The real estate is a bit limited. But every XDiavel, whether you buy the stock one or the XDiavel S, as far as I understand it, they all come with the option of getting a little rear passenger backrest and a little extender. Extends the back seat real estate by about, I want to say about 4.5 inches. I might be a little off, but it just places in the back. The backrest mounts to the subframe, and that'll work really good for holding down some luggage, right? But we need panniers, or we need saddlebags if you want to be a little bit less cosmopolitan. And I think with this bike, as opposed to some of the other Ducatis, it's okay to be less cosmopolitan. This bike is a gentleman for sure, right? Shaken, not stirred. But at the same time, it's also a full-blown bastard. This bike will excite every waking cell within your body. When you roll on this throttle, whether you're in urban, touring, or sport mode, you're just gonna grin. There's no way to stop that. Not with this bike. And it doesn't matter. The coolest thing with this bike is that, right now I'm in 4th gear. I'm a cruiser. If I drop it down into 3rd gear, all of a sudden I've become a hooligan. The temptation is strong. I feel so much temptation to just, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I feel so much temptation to just roll on that throttle. And 156 horsepower, 95 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPMs. Yeah, trust me, it's torquey. But I put it back in 4th gear, so now all of a sudden I'm a cruiser. Flickability, amazing. Comfort, amazing. The wind, it's very windy right now. We're headed towards the coast, and it's gonna get windier, I'm sure. And one thing I have to say is that this front end really does a fantastic job of deflecting a lot of wind, and right over my shoulders, I don't feel any buffeting on the helmet, all the way up to speeds of 80, 85 miles an hour, hypothetically. That would assume that I've gone that fast on this bike today. Oh, crap! But, you know, I don't think there are any roads where that's a legal speed limit. But let's just assume that I, like, in a hypothetical world, if I was to, then there hypothetically would be absolutely really no wind. It would just be fantastic. It would be amazing. Trust me, hypothetically. Confidence on this bike is phenomenal. It is a very safe, sound, secure bike. Now, that's the part that, in my eyes, is worth the price tag. This bike starts off just under $20,000. The next bike up has the better blinged out wheels, better blinged out bits and bobs, better paint scheme to it if you think so. It has the glossy black tank, which I'm not a fan of. I like the matte black. It has Bluetooth on the more expensive one. It's got the better brakes. These brakes are awesome brakes. On the S version, the S stands for super awesome brakes. And that's really the only difference. Awesome or super awesome. Either way, it's a win-win in my opinion. Just a fantastic bike, amazing lean angles, and I feel like I still have tons of room for turning. You don't get that on a cruiser. You know, not only in that turn, if something had happened, if there was something in the way, if somebody went down, even in the lean, I would be able to grab on that front brake and know, well, maybe not so much in sport mode, but still I would have a lot of technology that would save my ass, and the lights would flash on here. And every time the light flashes on here and it tells you that traction control kicked in or ABS is kicked in, basically the bike has just told you it saved your life. You can say thank you, or you can choose not to. The bike doesn't care. Again, it's a gentleman and it's a bastard. It is the devil. It is Diablo, of course, right? The XDiavel, and it is about temptation. And like I said, we're in 4th gear, lots of temptation. Put it in 5th gear now at this speed, and that temptation fades away. I'm in control. And that's the coolest part, is you get the devil, like everything that the devil is, that adventure, that excitement, the sin that goes with it, but you are in control of it. And that control is not misleading. It's not some misleading sense of control. You can feel that control. You tame that devil. And that's pretty badass in my opinion. And the power is just right there. It's so accessible, almost in any gear. As far as my knees touching on the tank, beautiful. For these twisty roads, it just inspires. And I can lean out on the bike really easy. I can, you know, counter steering, everything is so flickable, so controllable. And that part I really like. I'm in 5th gear there, so I've got to, for all you sport bike guys that aren't aware, you can put your heel on them and just rest and stretch out a little bit. Really cozy, really comfortable. My Bluetooth is misbehaving. Yeah. I am so in love with this bike. It's unreal. Owning this bike, the only real thing that I'd have to do is upgrade that sound. I would want more of that grumble, that grunt, that raspiness, that bluesy jazziness of the bike. But that's pretty amazing itself. The bike, though, even now it sounds great. I would want that rumble. I would want this bike to just sound mean and sound, just be presence on the road and have a good, strong presence, because it deserves it, in my opinion. It's one of those kind of bikes. Look at the Pacific Ocean, by the way. I forgot all about this ocean. Oh yeah, see, like hypothetically at 80 miles an hour, the wind still doesn't feel all that bad. You know, I feel so much more confident that I would be able to go out and enjoy this and still make it home just fine. And that part I think that's the best part of it. That's the part that makes it worth it. This bike is just under $20,000. That's not just a small amount of money to throw out there needlessly. I've now ridden this bike, gosh, maybe like 5 or 6 times total. And every time I ride it, I fall in love more and more and more. It's like a good plate of spaghetti. The first time you have it, you're in love. But every other time, it just makes it better and better and better. Until that's all you're thinking about. Now, the cool thing is, at these speeds, at these really low speeds, my feet are still up on the pegs. There's no hesitation. I feel very much in control, and I feel very graceful, and I talked about that in my actual review. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about this bike, is just how it's just confident at low speeds, high speeds. Oh, so beautiful. I love this part. Oh. Yeah, it's so nice just to hear that engine come to life. Now the throttle, I'm in third gear right now, and I mean it not that matters, but rolling on the throttle, it just feels very responsive. I feel like there's very little lag in play. As soon as I roll on it, I feel like I get like almost instant, if not instant, satisfaction out of that. Oh, beautiful ride on the coast. This is great. Now this is definitely where, like this bike belongs on beautiful roads such as the Pacific Coastal Highway like we're on now. With the backdrop, the sexy backdrop of the Pacific Ocean off to the side. This bike, this is where it's home. This is where it lives. In the twisty forested mountains of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Well, realistically, I wish the bike lived in my garage, but it doesn't. But until then, it does. This is definitely where it is best suited. Tour the entire Pacific Coastal Highway on a bike like this. Not only will it be fun as hell, it'll be safe. Well, safe as it can be. Maximize efficient safety. And this bike is about adventure and exploration. It's about all of that. It's about fun, and it's just great. Great. That's my official belief. Is it's just great. And that guy's working on his Harley. Poor guy. As far as maintenance intervals go, this bike, if I'm not mistaken, it's right around 7,500 miles between oil changes. And I don't believe you have to do your first valve check until 15,000 miles. And that's pretty amazing. Why are we cruising so slow? Come on, all of us are on the same bike. We all have the same temptation to go a lot faster. What's going on? Why so slow? If you haven't test ridden one, well, then I'm glad you're watching this video, because first off, I know I'm not giving a lot of information. I know I'm not giving a lot of statistics and facts and things that you can find on the website so easily with beautiful women and beautiful websites that are designed flawlessly and they're sophisticated by design. I'm not giving you that information because, damn it, you deserve better. I'm giving you the information that you can't get from their website. The information is to feedback, what it feels like to ride this bike, what it tempts you to do. And for me, and I understand, I totally do. I'm sold on the bike. Yep, absolutely. Totally sold on the bike. You caught me. There's not one part of me that denies it. This bike is fantastic. I think it should be Bike of the Year 2016. No contest, in my opinion. But it's just opinion, and so I definitely encourage you to get out. The DUCATI XDIAVEL experience is touring all through the United States. It's going up to Canada next, I believe. And there'll be more events down the road. And I highly encourage you to check it out. If you're into the idea of comfort and you're into the idea of being able to go a couple hundred miles to find the best barbecue and then the best twisty roads, and then ride said twisty roads for 100 miles, and then head back 150 miles or 200 miles back home, this bike will do it. Oh, I want to go faster. but like still within the speed limit faster, right? Maybe, hypothetically. Yeah, that's my take on this bike, and I just feel, you know, first off, a huge shout out to the Motor Cafe for making this all possible, and for keeping me updated on this event, and thank you to Ducati North America for all of your awesomeness today, and for hanging out with me and keeping me company throughout the day as I filmed up this beautiful bike.